as a creative challenge, Marco and myself, we sort of agreed to pitch to the guys that we would do an all Tagalog record. The material sort of called for Tagalog lyrics. The musicality of the language, the phonetics, the oomph factor, whatever that is. When you write songs in a language that you speak every day, the emotional resonance is also higher. So they're not necessarily truer or whatever, but they just ring truer. Alam mo yun?
We started working with the material as early as 2007, 2008, and we started recording 2011. And there was a long break between 11 and probably 2013. And because of that break, we weren't playing as many gigs as we would like to. We were trying to pick up on the pace of the recordings. And when we rehearsed for the first time after such a long break, I told Mikey, I don't think we deserve these songs as a unit right now. We need to rehearse more. And I think that was a key point when I could say that I felt that the songs really had something in them, that we really had to earn them, or we really had to deserve them, even as a musical unit and even as creators of it. It was an expensive album to make. Again, the material deserves the best sonic treatment we can give it, and not just that. We had a great engineer and producer on hand, Jean-Paul Verona. Was great in capturing all the sounds that we needed and made them sound the way we want them to sound. Kakoy was great in directing the performances, being uncompromising with bad takes. I think that was very important. And they suggested that we send it over to Nashville for mastering. And we initially balked at the idea because of the expense involved. But when we heard the free sample that they had sent us back, we said, we should go with this. It's great material, and it deserves that treatment. And we were torn between spending the little money that we have on actual CDs versus having a really great sounding artifact, and we went with the latter.
No, but I think at this point, because we were convinced that the album had to be shared. So now that it's done, we're at this point we're trying to make sure that we're sharing it with a lot of people, basically.
Particularly fond of Dayami. I think when we first heard the mixes, when we wrapped up recording, I felt that it represented the album in its sentiment, in its sonic qualities, and the general flavor. Really, it was a really good decision to make that the first single, because it represents the entire being of this album, if I could say that.
Rotonda was a specific favorite. Maybe because this was technically the first album that I was really part of at the beginning. Writing the parts for this album was really a conscious effort rather than, okay, I got thrown into it. Rotonda was that particular song where I realized, wait, I had to think about what I was doing. So that's why I guess it's also a point of pride.
The singing and the writing, those are really definitive elements. Parang whether we admit it or not. A person's writing stamp on a song, the person's vocal stamp on a song is just character defining talaga siya. I'm particularly fond of Marco's songs Telluria and 25. I think it needs to be said also that Marco wrote practically half the record, and sang on it as well, which is a pivotal element in this record. It's like the record we turn into a band, I guess.
When you talked about songwriting process, I always go back to there's such a thing as there's a certain validity to the process that we went through. And like what you just mentioned about, you just have to take time, and this is the point where band became a band, was because, we spent so much time together. And you can't just be yourself like the first year you're together, parang ganun. And you're kind of figuring out what the hell you're doing. But after like 8 years of trying to figure out what the hell you're doing, I think you have some semblance of an understanding of what I am capable of. And at that point, that's when you realize, okay, like I said, 4 independent people, interlacing to that one, and I guess that's what Halang stands for.
We're the Purplechickens.
And you're logged on to Pinoytuner.com.